This is Christy Metropolis joining you again for our online book study of Dr. Richard's book, Moving Your Invisible Boundaries. This chapter is entitled The Pursuit of Life. And so by now, I hope you see that we are talking about the abundant life that Jesus came to give us. Now, on page 45, Dr. Richard says, when we seek to determine what is good or bad for us, that is what will bring pain and pleasure, independent of light, we can't experience the life of God. One of the great deceptions of sin is the fact that it can give us pleasure for a time. But because that which gratifies the physical senses works on the basis of human body, it always follows the rules of addiction. He goes on to say, that which stimulates the brain to cause the release of endorphins, the body's indigenous morphine pleasure chemicals, always requires more stimulation each time we seek to have that good feeling. This addictive process leads us to more and more extreme behavior. We think because we felt good for a time, our behavior must surely be the only means to the gratification we were created to enjoy. So we keep pushing the limits, never seeing the warning signs. We mistake and substitute conditioning for heart beliefs. Now, this is where I hope I don't lose some of you. I know a lot of people are looking for excuses for their bad behavior and why they do some of the things that they do. And as human beings, we're not always eager to admit to ourselves or to others where we're falling short of God's glory. And you know, the Word of God does tell us all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But this is where you have to decide, what do you want more? Do you want the weight of sin in your life, or do you want the weight of the glory of God in your life? You know, you are the only one who can decide the pathway that you're going to take. For some of you, this may mean that right now you're coming face to face with your addictions. They may be sexual addictions, they may be chemical addictions, they may be emotional addictions. No matter what you're facing though, anything that has a hold on you is keeping you from experiencing the abundant life that Jesus came to give you. And here's the other thing. Nobody can break these addictions for you. You have to do it yourself. Now, for anybody who's feeling pretty righteous right now, and when I talk about righteous, I mean self-righteous, because you think, well, I don't have any of those horrible addictions. I don't have a sexual addiction or a chemical addiction. But remember, sin is not just the bad stuff that you and I do. Sin is when we are not partaking of the quality of life that God came to give us. Lying is sin, stealing sin, fornication, adultery, that's all sin. But so is worry and fear and doubt and unbelief. All of those things also rob you of the abundant life. You know, thinking that you're not worthy of God's love is also sin, because it's not experiencing the quality of life that God came to give you. So this is what I want you to ask yourself. Am I willing to give up temporary pleasure of sin? Am I willing to quit pushing the limits, ignoring the warning signs? And am I ready to make a decision to walk in the light and to experience the life of God? You know, God is really offering each and every one of us a quality of life that goes beyond anything that we could ever imagine. What He wants to do for us is not only meet every need, but actually throw His love onto us and to shower us with His generosity and with His peace and His love and all that He is. That's what He desires to do. So we have a choice of whether or not we want to be partakers. Finally, on page 45, Dr. Richard says, in this heart journey, we will look exactly where Jesus said to look, and that is within. We will not pray and commune with a God who sits on a throne in heaven. We will commune with a God who abides in our heart when faith is present. We will facilitate by biblical process that which is within us expressing outwardly until it invades our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions, and our behavior and touches the outer world. So this is what I want you to ask yourself today. Am I willing to look at what is really in my heart and talk to God about everything that I find there? Will I agree to let Him take me through a heart transformation and exchange my faulty beliefs with what He says is true about me? And if you can say yes to that, if you can say, yes, I'm really willing to look at everything in my heart and let God take me through this transformation process, then you're going to find some of the most amazing things happening to you over the course of the next several weeks. God truly does want to take you to the place of experiencing the abundant life, the quality of life that He enjoys. He wants you to experience the same peace and joy that Jesus has right now, seated at the right hand of the Father. So, this is Christy Metropolis reminding you, you can move your invisible boundaries.